This is no time for distractions.
Exactly. But
Time itself is a silent song.
An antique.
Can we play Banger next time?
Exactly.
Time itself is a
Can we
silent
play
song.
Banger next time?
Extra fever.
Still no dice?
Not at all. And I've asked pretty much everyone in the court of Fontaine already. Lynette's ears drooped as soon as she heard that we'd have to be out and about for days on end. And Fremine, he hid himself under his helmet as soon as he realized there'd be people around that he didn't know.
What about Chiori and Charlotte? I feel like both of them would be more than up to it.
I've asked them already, but they're both pretty busy right now. I just gave the members of the Spina a few days off, too, so I don't want to bother them either.
This is getting pretty difficult.
Nadia, Cloran, what's up? Oh my. Well, if it isn't my dear partners. How are you all doing?
Huh. Navia?
Huh? Oh, you mean...
Yep, this is our chance.
Do you need a... Oh, precisely. Whoa, for real?
Absolutely. We've...
Traveler, would you join us and play Marechaussee Hunter Judge... Marechaussee what now?
It's a new game script by the Tabletop Troupe. A local...
Ever heard of the Tabletop Troupe? They put out games that allow you to participate in a story and role-play characters with your friends. Oh, I've loved their stuff ever since I was a kid. That sounds super interesting! Clorand and I are both veteran members of the club. Recently, someone came up with a new script and was looking for people to help playtest it for them. And when they asked, of course I couldn't refuse. I mean, come on! A brand new script? Nobody has ever played it before.
Generally speaking, scripts at that level of development have a lot of issues. But I think this one is pretty solid. The author obviously put a lot of work into the story, and the world building is also quite credible.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I know I was the one that handed you the script, but some of us haven't read it yet. No spoilers, please.
Anyway, the script calls for a team of 4. Ah, yes. We're missing one final player, right?
So, you're saying... I'm under the trap!
That's not a problem. I'll adjust the pace based on the actual number of players, and ensure that...
Well, Traveler, what do you think? Wanna play?
Paimon will follow your...
Well, that solves our problem.
Woohoo! I'll go grab the script.
The script manager?
The club introduced a completely new kind of game. In this iteration, the Game Master's version of the script is incomplete. On top of that, in order to increase player immersion...
Wow, you're right! Whoever wrote this script really did put in a lot of work.
And it's got a real healthy amount of suspense, right? I mean, even the GM doesn't know how the story will end.
I look forward to experiencing it with you all.
Why don't you go meet up with the others first? They should all be waiting at Chioria Boutique. I'll come over with the script manager as soon as I find them.
Sounds good. Remember to always watch where you're going, and don't rush.
You say that like I'm 6 years old or something. Let me think. What kind of character should I play this time?
I just hope you'll pick up some useful skills this time. Oh, and stop trying to persuade every animal you come across. Sorry to keep you waiting.
You're back! Huh? And you've got the Traveler and Paimon with you, too!
What a pleasant surprise. I assume you'll be joining us for the game then?
Linny, Farina! Paimon didn't know you were playing too!
I'm more of a casual member, if anything. I haven't taken part in many formal club activities. Lynette Fremine and I play something similar at the Hotel Bouffe Tété sometimes, but I'm usually the GM. Still, I'm sure it'll be fun being a player for the first time. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I'm not a member of the club at all. Cloran simply woke me up first thing this morning, said there was a good script worth experiencing, and asked if I wanted in.
If you're interested, I can give you a referral. That should give you a 40% discount on membership fees.
I think I'll wait to see how this experience plays out first, especially when it comes to the quality of the script. If it's sufficiently fun, then I'll join.
Do you participate in a lot of tabletop troupe activities, Clarine?
You could say that. She's actually one of the few senior game masters of the troupe.
Right. I knew about that even when she was still my subordinate.
It's nothing. Really, just a small hobby of mine.
Wow. Paimon's so used to seeing you be all upstanding and intimidating.
Surely you jest. I maintain a clear boundary between my professional and but in my
Well, you say that, but for all the time I've known you, I don't think I've ever seen you cry. I've seen you get angry, sure, but now I'm wondering whether you
I was probably in work mode during those times.
Is that so? Well, in any case, I just feel like even in your personal life, you don't get emotional very often.
So you want to see me cry? That might be a little difficult. A show of anger, though, that might be something I could accomplish.
No, that's not what I meant.
I'm back! Here, allow me to introduce you to the script manager.
Pleasure to meet you all.
Hello? Wait.
Oh, no. This is just the costume.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It's nothing. It's the least we can do to give the players a more... Anyway, allow me to give you a brief introduction of the script. This script was adapted from the real history of the Marechaussee Hunters. You all will play the role of hunters from a bygone era and resolve a series of events unfolding in the capital.
Paimon's not super familiar with the history of the Marechaussee Hunters. Is that a problem?
Oh, no problem at all. I can give you a brief rundown. So, basically, Marechaussee Hunters were people who dedicated themselves to hunting monsters and protecting the city by using a special swordsmanship technique passed down over generations. Their story can be traced back to the ancient Remurian dynasty, as well as the first hunter, Cassiodor. But I'll leave the finer details for you to seek out and discover later.
And I'll provide additional commentary as the story progresses.
In that case, brave hunters, are you ready to set out on an unknown adventure?
Whoa, just one sentence and it's like we're in the story already!
Aha, I see many a determined gaze before me. Very well, head over to this location and begin your heroic journey.
So, as we follow the story, it leads us to specific scenes? Ooh, sounds pretty innovative. What does the message in the envelope say?
It's the exact location of the scene, as well as the formal permission to use the venue. Seems like they have everything prepared. Please check all your belongings, everyone, and make sure you haven't forgotten anything. Once you're ready, please follow me to the designated location.
Sounds good! Hunter Squad, move out!
Coming up. My husband promised to get me a replica of the most eye-catching outfit from the show. Fashion Week is coming up. My husband promised to get me a replica of the most eye-catching outfit from the show.
I wonder what my dear sister Lynette is doing right now. Missing me to death, I'm sure.
Fashion Week is coming up. My husband promised to get me a replica of the most eye-catching outfit from the show.
So hard to pick the perfect gift.
Fashion Week is coming up. My husband promised to get me a replica of the most eye-catching outfit from the show.
Shit! Achoo!
Whoa, they really have thought of everything. Even the phaetometer is here and ready to go for us.
The phaetometer. What's that?
It's a card that's used to determine action success or failure. We'll need to use it when we try to use certain skills.
And what about all the dessert and tea? Is that for us as well?
That's what the message said.
Oh, really? That's so nice. It feels just like a tea party with friends.
Those snacks have Paimon's name written all over them.
I think you might be more of a snack hunter than a marachose hunter, Paimon.
Snack Hunter Paimon reported for duty. If there are delicious snacks to be found...
The desserts are great. But,
First, please pick up the blank character cards in front of you and write down your name and profession. You can find an abbreviated version of the rules printed on the back of your character card. In this story, everyone is a marachose hunter. To reflect this, the club has prepared a small badge for everyone.
Ooh, nice!
As hunters, you have proficiency in swordsmanship and fighting by default, so there's no need to allocate any additional skill points to those areas.
Swordsmanship? So there's a fighting part to all of this?
Why don't you share a character card then? The Traveler will be the marachose hunter, and you can be his little floating assistant.
Kinda like in real life.
so, for the name, do I fill it out with the name of my character?
Yep, it can be any name you like.
You can use your real name too if you want. I do that whenever I get too lazy to think of a new name.
Oh, so it would be like experiencing a different life, but still as yourself. That's not a bad idea.
In that case, I think I'll continue to use the name Linny then.
Next up is the skill sheet. You have a limited amount of skill points that you can use to learn a number of skills. The more points you invest in a particular skill, the easier it will be to pass associated checks.
I'll take persuasion and investigation. Those are must-haves when it comes to missions like these.
Oh, those skills sound like they'd be useful for gathering intelligence. Good idea, Navia. Just as expected of a veteran player.
So, should we also take those skills then?
Not necessarily. Since we're working together as a team, we could leave the negotiations to Navia and use our skill points to pick up other useful skills. For example, I think I'll take stealth and sleight of hand. That will give us more options if we run into any situations we can't negotiate our way out of.
Oh, interesting. I wasn't thinking about it like that. I suppose it's not so different from an acting troupe. Everyone has their own role to play. Let me see. I'll take arts and performance. I'm not quite sure what use they'll be, but I'm not as knowledgeable about the other skills, and I'm not too confident I'd be able to roleplay them well.
Well, that leaves us. What do you want to learn, Traveler? Ha! Gotta say, this suits you really well. Nothing boosts morale like good food. Oh, something that'll help. So what do you think? Are you sure you want to learn these two skills? Sure, what do you want to learn? Ha! Gotta say, this... Ooh, so you want to help? So what do you think? Are you sure you want...
Let's see.
You've all picked such classic skills.
Why do I get the feeling she's getting ready to cause...
For example, this one here.
Oh, I saw that one just now as well. The description says, this skill can be used under certain circumstances to summon characters or creatures.
The script's world-building rules, huh?
Oh, that's not for us to worry about, my friend.
All right, you've convinced Paimon. Let's learn summon then. Paimon.
Well, now that everyone's more or less finished creating their characters, we can begin. Since 2 of our players are doing this for the first time, though, would you like to play on easy mode?
What's...
Well, in role-playing games, the story sometimes changes based on... For example, if you fail a check, that means if you choose to play in authentic mode, every time you elect to use a skill, you'll need to use the Fatometer. If you choose easy mode instead, every check will be successful.
Given that I'd like to focus on the story...
Huh? Oh, come on. Don't worry about that. Never knowing what you might have to overcome.
I'd rather...
All right, then I'll mark down Farina for...
What about you, dear partner? How would you like to play?
Are you sure?
Trust me. Honestly, I don't think Clorand would make things too difficult.
No.
Well, anyway, enough talk. Let's get started. I want to
Speaking of the story, why is the beginning scene...
Well, that's because a long time ago, back when human civilization was still in its infancy, powerful demons and evil sorcerers ruled over the land. They created a host of monsters. Soon, a group of human rebels banded together. With their swords raised, they swore to brave the darkness, and in doing so, subdue each and every monster that sought their destruction. They Sometime later, as a member of the Marechaussee Hunters, you receive a commission. Following the address provided on the message, as you inhale, you can taste the slightly salty air of the docks as you begin to survey your surroundings. Your eyes meet, and you realize...
You're all Marechaussee hunters too, right? Allow me to introduce myself. The name's Navia, monster hunter by trade and helpful. What say you to traveling together?
Okay, my name is Linny. I've been wandering since I was little and picked up a few less than legal tricks along the way. I was adopted by a Marechaussee hunter and later...
Is this where you... My name is Farina, and, I grew up in a noble family. I always had a strong interest in performance and the arts. Even though I'm a Marechaussee hunter, what I really...
Hey, that's really cool. You can do it, Farina.
Paimon is Paimon, a good friend and companion to this Marechaussee hunter right here.
I've been studying the culinary arts since I was a child. I hope my delicious food can help boost people's spirits.
That's wonderful. I'll be...
Well, if we're all here for the same commission, why don't we take some time to confirm what we need to do?
You open your envelopes at the same time. The message reads... To the honorable and trustworthy Marechaussee hunters, our kingdom is currently facing a grave crisis. The lands outside the capital have been overtaken by monsters, and our people are being led astray by forces of wickedness. We beseech you, please help us resolve this crisis and return peace and stability to our home.
Huh. The layout of this city looks super familiar. It kind of reminds Paimon of Mondstadt!
The scriptwriter must have used a real-world city.
As experienced hunters, the layout of the city reminds you of places once traveled. You recall the sight of tree-lined streets and the gentle... Yet, as you regard the city in front of you, it appears...
I carefully read every line of the letter and turn my attention to the signatures at the bottom. Who issued this commission?
You see a long string of unfamiliar names. It would seem that many of the residents of the city issued this commission together. They sensed that things were not right within the kingdom and sent a distress signal to the outside world.
In that case, why don't we take a walk around the city and see if we can learn anything from the local residents?
Oh, good idea. We might be able to get some leads on the monsters and bad guys we're after.
You look up and see a tavern nearby. It appears to be open for the day.
Why don't we go check out that tavern? If the novels I've read are anything to go by, taverns are usually full of information.
Feeling lucky? Watch out!
As you approach the tavern, you find a plainly dressed woman standing nearby. She appears to be rather troubled about something.
Greetings, friend. Lovely weather we're having today, don't you think?
Oh, hello. I suppose you're right. The weather today is quite lovely. If only those monsters out there would stop causing trouble.
It seems like every character included in the script has a certain amount of useful information to offer. If we keep asking questions, we might be able to get some good leads.
Oh, come now, don't be sad. Life is all about optimism. Oh, that reminds me. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
Huh?
I don't think that's the kind of question we're supposed to ask.
Nothing turns a frown upside down like good food. How about some macarons? I could make you some.
You didn't even take cooking as one of your skill proficiencies.
That's not necessary, miss. Excuse me for saying this, but you don't...
So you're someone who barely smiles and does... Hey! Did she just... me?
Clorian must have broke her...
This isn't getting us anywhere.
Are you sure? In that case, please...
Whoa,
You remain silent as you prepare a pot and fire to use for cooking. The woman stares at you with her mouth agape as you skillfully cut the ingredients, and after some time, a rich aroma begins to fill the air.
Please have some food. Who knows?
Whoa!
Wait. So, as long as you pass the...
You were right.
So what had you so worried earlier?
A horde of monsters suddenly appeared near the capital recently.
Do you remember when those monsters...
I'm not complete.
Do you know where...
It all happened so fast. When we said our goodbye...
You have our thanks, friend. We'll find and defeat those monsters as soon as possible. We sincerely hope your husband will be able to return to your side soon.
Thank you.
Don't worry. We'll find him. Just try to remain optimistic and wait for good news. We don't always get to choose what happens to us. But we do get to choose the little things, like what we eat and how we respond to the things life throws our way. I hope that one day, you too will recognize the
I'll do my best. You bid farewell to the woman, and continue your journey further into the city.
This one's got your name on it!
As you venture further into the city, the streets appear largely empty. An elderly woman walks past. You see her shake her head as she puts away her wrinkled wallet. A nearby merchant folds his arms and gives you a disdainful look. You get the impression that he's someone who has long gotten used to the sight before him.
Although he doesn't seem very friendly, merchants are usually a good
Pardon me, sir.
That depends. How much are you willing to pay?
How about this much?
Ugh, what do you take me for? Some lowly beggar?
Surely an onion can't be...
What do you know? War is nearly upon us. Everything costs several times what it did before.
Whoa, what a nasty guy.
But he still might have information we need. Traveler, can you think of something?
Okay, while everyone is talking, I secretly use my magic props to summon a bottle of wine without the merchant noticing. We meant no offense, sir. Here, allow me to offer you this bottle of vintage wine. I should mention that this... Do you have any information on the monsters or the crisis that has overtaken the kingdom?
Crisis? Those monsters are camped outside the city, and they've been destroying all our trade routes. We have limited reserves within the city, so if this continues, we're all gonna be in big trouble.
Wait.
We could all starve, and those nobles, who knows? Maybe they've been in cahoots with...
That is Thank you, sir. We won't...
Hey, why did you leave in such a hurry?
Well, you see, that bottle of wine was just a cardboard prop.
Should we try to go somewhere with more people?
Oh, how about the city square? Follow me!
Before you lies the city's central square. You see a man with a slightly anxious look on his face, pacing back and forth, his head hanging low. He doesn't seem to notice your approach. Still immersed in his own thoughts, he shakes his head and lets out a long sigh.
This guy seems promising enough. Maybe I can get some information out of him. sir. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Wait, you're... oh, dear goodness!
You recognize us? Ah, are you one of the people who wrote the commission letter?
Yes, yes!
What happened?
Alas, we once... However,
Are there...
It's not a... Most people my age have never even seen one of the monsters, much less been trained to fight against them. When I was a child, though, my grandfather... To be perfectly honest, I was starting to think all those stories were just tall tales. But now that I've seen you in person...
Well, you can rest easy, friend.
The man is touched by your determination and resolve. His eyes begin to well with tears of...
Still, if we are going to hunt the monsters, we need to know...
all I know is that the air... Oh, although, if you leave the capital through the main gate and follow the road, you should run into a group of guards. They might know more about where to find the monsters.
I see.
All right. They're actively working with the monsters. Even one of our kindest ministers has turned into a boorish and unreasonable figure. Interested in...
Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I feel bad for him.
Hey, not...
I appreciate your kindness, but for now, it's brave hunters.
If I understood correctly, there are currently 2 problems in the kingdom that need...
Exactly. We need to...
But, well, this seems like a good moment for a break.
Well, Clarence said the script took cues from the real history of Fontaine, right? Maybe the real-life Marachose hunters were also treated like that.
I wouldn't say it's a perfect representation of history, but there are definitely...
Sure. As long as it doesn't spoil anything in the script.
Paimon wants to know too! The hunters were super powerful, right?
No. All Marachose hunters were ordinary mortal fighters. The only thing that set them apart were the special sword techniques passed down over the centuries.
Huh? So you mean anyone could become a Marachose hunter?
In theory, yes. All you would need to do is survive the rigorous training. Still, most people dropped out at the early stages. And others called it...
What kind of monsters did the hunters fight exactly?
The land of Fontaine once played host to an ancient dynasty known as Remuria. After that dynasty, one of the ancient sorcerers of Remuria used his power to assemble a formidable army of golems. He sought to...
Now, wait a second. Don't tell me that guy...
Well, I wasn't planning on going into anything you might be able to find out in the game. But if you want me to talk about...
Wait, but those people are all from...
From my master.
Huh. My master...
Is someone...
Absolutely. Miss Petronia and my father were good
Let's not get off topic. Responding to Egeria's call, a number of warriors followed. Yet, as Fontaine entered an era of peace, their work gradually became obsolete. The Marechaussee Phantom...
I see. That
Is that really a bad thing, though? It can get tough always being the one shouldering everyone's
depends on who you ask, I suppose.
Speaking of investigations, which...
I vote monsters. That's the main duty of the hunters.
Well said, Miss Farina. Plus, if the sorcerers really are the masterminds behind this whole thing,
What about you, partner? What do you think? I mean, you're not wrong. We don't want a total party kill on the first day, right? With Then it's...
All right. After...
Let's take a look around, like that guy said.
You there! Outsiders, halt!
Who's there?
An armored man approaches you. He has a tall, muscular build and a determined although he's trying his best to conceal his current state, his uneven gait and the sweat dripping down his forehead. I'm the captain of the guard. I saw you sneaking around the city earlier, so I'll only ask this once. State your purpose, or it's off to the dungeons for the lot of you.
Wow, it's been a while since...
I said talk, not whisper between yourselves.
Have you ever heard of the Marechaussee Hunters?
Marechaussee Hunters? Ha! That fairy tale, you mean? What, you expect me to believe you're one of them?
A critical failure.
The captain of the guards reluctantly allows you to assess his condition. Right as you're trying to get a closer look at his leg... Ugh!
That sounds like it hurt.
I'm sorry. My skills are a little rusty.
The captain recoils and takes a half step back. Ugh! I don't care what you have to say, or why you're here. You are not welcome in this city. Get out of...
I understand that you're upset, sir. We'll leave soon, I promise. It's just, if we don't know where to find the monsters, we won't even know where to go.
Ha! Don't tell me you're actually considering fighting one of those things. You know, put any other group of young people in your place, and I might have tried to stop them. But since you're the ones asking... He informs you of the locations of the monsters with a disdainful tone, as if he's certain you have no chance of making it out alive.
That was scary. Paimon was worried that critical failure meant we weren't gonna learn anything.
Ugh, it's all thanks to Cloran's quick.
Well, are you leaving or not?
We're leaving. We're leaving.
Based on what the captain said, the monster should be right up ahead. Let's go. Hopefully we're not too late.
Hey there!
As you approach the battlefield, you see numerous people lying by the side of the road. They appear to be dressed like guards. Their faces are filled with desperation and terror. Some are screaming and cursing in vain, as if still trying to banish the monstrosities they saw from their minds. A few of the wounded look up at you in shock and disbelief. Quick, leave this place. Turn around and don't look back, they yell.
This is the place he mentioned, right?
You see broken iron swords scattered all around you, and downed trees riddled with terrifying claw marks. All the signs point to one thing.
Be on your guard, everyone. The monsters might still be around.
Before you can finish your sentence, you hear rustling sounds from the surrounding bushes. The monsters have emerged. They close in on you without fear.
Ah! A little help here! This thing wants to eat Paimon!
Your battle round begins.
Strike a pose! Time to shine! Coming at ya!
The next battle round begins now. The monsters let out a terrifying roar of anger and resentment before dissipating into thin air.
Ugh, thank goodness it's over.
We're lucky the Marashose Hunter class came with all those preset skill points. Otherwise, we would have been in some real trouble.
I never knew the Fatometer even determines the amount of damage you inflict. If you get unlucky, isn't it just game over right then and there?
That's part of the fun. The uncertainty of fate is what gives these games their appeal.
Just as you begin to celebrate your victory, a suspicious lump on the ground catches your attention.
A suspicious lump. Wait, could it be the thing that appears after every battle?
I walk up to it, crouch down, and begin to carefully examine it. I've still got my right glove on, so it should be fine for me to touch it.
As you investigate the mound, you discover that the exposed portion appears to be made of wood. It was previously obscured by the large form of the monsters. With the monsters gone, the small protrusion now awaits your discovery. Poking out of the ground like a shy...
Whoa, it's a treasure chest!
Even without opening it, you can tell from the mora and jewels scattered around the chest that it must contain quite the fortune.
Makes sense. We worked hard for this. Let's open it and we can share what's inside.
I can understand your excitement, Paimon, but think about it. Doesn't it seem like...
Yeah. Think about all the people suffering in the capital. Or all those guards who got...
Wait, Is that how it works?
Well, let's put it this way. Any decision you make during a role-playing game,
But would the people really believe us? It's hard enough for us to prove we're
That's definitely something we should consider. Maybe.
Well, if donating it could cause that much trouble, why don't we use...
Looks like you're facing a difficult... well, it's
Wow!
I'm not sure if it's because I'm having so much fun with you all or because the.
Here, here.
Yeah, that won't work for me either.
I understand how you feel, Navia, but we have to change...
Huh?
There's a special note for the GM at the end of this section that says to proceed to an indoor set.
Whoa.
Well, even if we end the game for the...
Something tells me.
That's just a coincidence, okay? And anyway, Paimon really does want to hear more about Cloran's master.
Well,
It's nothing. I appreciate the concern. My earliest memories are of living with Master. According to her, she saved me from certain people of ill repute. My birth parents had left me behind some time before that.
What a...
Master was a My first ever toy was a short sword. Although I suppose it wasn't so much...
Oh, wait, so she handed an actual...
Of course I did. I cut my palm and bled. See, that's what you get for not holding the sword properly, she told me. She then...
Excuse me for asking this, Clara.
Probably around,
3? Isn't that when most kids are still struggling to hold a fork?
As I said, Master was rather inexperienced in the ways of raising children.
I'm not so sure this is a question of experience.
I didn't see anything wrong with her ways at the time. And anyway, children don't get to choose how they're raised. Oh, she did bring me...
A Geovicious...
What she said was this. Make sure to get along, you two. If you really can't agree on something...
And...
5.
Well...
No,
So, you're saying...
yes, but only for a week.
That really doesn't sound like the kind of child...
Later on, I gradually understood that Master most likely didn't know any other way to raise a child. Thanks to her, I learned how to navigate the forest by the age of 6. Even though the training she subjected me to was strict, she always made sure to take me...
I still remember the first time we met. You were too scared.
I still hadn't really met...
After that, though,
I had a lot of fun during the...
I enjoyed them too. We tried to pretend like we never heard anything.
Protector of justice. Oh, wait, you mean...
Yep, that would be her. She often would put on a black...
20 years ago, huh? I still remember the Oh, there's no need to apologize. Although, calling herself the Protector of
Huh? When did the Protector...
Oh, she had a bunch of code names. I heard she would just come up with a name on the later on. She probably got sick of answering those questions and decided...
That sounds like her, all right. I bet she forgot which of the two she'd use by the time she got back each night.
Well, she certainly sounds like a fascinating individual. With her strong sense of justice, it's no surprise her student followed in her footsteps.
It's true. I always wanted to become like her. Someone powerful, independent, and with a strong sense of conviction. But... she suddenly disappeared.
Disappeared? What happened?
I have no idea. She didn't even leave a note. I was never able to find out where she went. That night, I was celebrating my birthday at Navia's house. But Master never came to pick me up. When I returned home on my own, when she still didn't appear after a few days, I went to Mr. Callis's house to ask about her whereabouts. but he only shook his head.
Papa probably didn't know either. I know he sent a few people to investigate the matter in secret, but they never found any credible leads.
Don't worry, I understand. To be perfectly honest, just like how, when a...
Were you upset, Clorand?
I was at first, but not anymore.
Well, despite everything, you still managed to follow in her footsteps and be...
I suspect my position would be...
Who knew Clorand had such an interesting past? I wonder... if Clorand's master were the champion duelist back then... would that duel against... Oh no... Judging by the atmosphere, Clorand...
Well, anyway... would you look at...
I had a great time today, Miss Clorand. Thank you for being our GM.
Anytime.
The script was good, but I've got to say, your Hey, you should tell us more about that fight against the G...
What does she mean, on to something? I certainly don't know any 5-year-old... Guess I'll head back as well. I need to save my energy if...
You're that excited to hear about my fight with the bishop?
I was talking about the script.
Any chance you're on the clock, officer?
Nothing good. Oh? And I see the Traveler and Paimon are here too.
Chevras, we meet again.
Well, things have been fine on my end. We were able to bring in a large number of recruits thanks to that film we made. I suppose the trade-off is that
Well, you were one of the leading roles.
So, Indeed it did. I only ever hear that phrase from you. Usually I'm the one asking people to do that.
Well, are you coming?
Not before I know what you're
Have I ever made a bad call?
The better question is, have you ever made... Are you sure this is something you should be telling the captain?
Neither. I'm requesting personal supervision from said captain, so I don't do anything too out of line.
Are you planning to?
Not if I can help it.
All right. Where is this person?
Follow me.
Ad Astra Abyssal. Thank you for completing today's commission. Ad Astra.
There'll be an extra fee for that.
Can we play Banker next time?
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew of dawn, or a bubble rising. Through water. Illusion shattered! There is no escape!
Truly is fascinating.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
My guiding stars! Stars!
A round of applause!
Line to command. Not...
Everybody stand!
You're toast! My guiding star!
Here comes the finale! Step right up!
Don't be scared.
Nice and spicy! I'm going in!
The night is cold.
Now disappear!
My guiding star!
Let's light it up!
Out of the frying pan, into the fire! Eat! Cold, line to command. The night is...
Everybody stand!
Let's get this show on the road! And voila!
My guiding star!
Let's light it up!
Boba, get them! You're toast!
Step right up!
The night is cold.
Nice and spicy!
Stars, shine for me. My guiding star!
I'm going in!
Boba, get them!
Teamwork is...
The night is cold. Cold.
Nice and spicy!
Here comes the finale!
Not now.
Adventure time! Everybody stand back!
Eat this! Out of the road, Tim! Stars, shine! My guiding stars!
Let's get this show on the road! Now disappear!
An antique value is in the eye of the beholder.